I get asked a lot in the comment section, what would be my daily driver? What would be the phone that I would choose to carry around if I didn't have to review devices and if I weren't doing articles on phones? And it would absolutely be this year, the Moto RAZR Plus. Loving this device. Every time I put my SIM back in, and that's why I'm using it for the holidays right now, I just can't get over how awesome the experience is for a bunch of different reasons. And one of the reasons that you should join that experience right now, link will be in the description, does help the channel. I was jumping up and down with this device, was $799, $699 right now on the Moto site. Link in the description, and that is one heck of a deal on a phone that I think you're really going to enjoy. So if you've been looking to dip your toe in the water of flippables, this is the one that you should be getting right now. Get it in the Viva Magenta. Do yourself a favor. Love the feel of the vegan leather back, the eco leather there. You don't even have to put a case on it, even though that's dumb. You should do it. Go ahead. Don't do what Uncle Steve does. Go ahead and put a case on it, and that way you could protect your investment. But the vegan leather feels and looks fantastic in the Viva Magenta. They do have the new Pantone color of the year, Peach Fuzz, on the site. So if that's something that you want, but don't fool yourself. Don't fool around. Get the Viva Magenta and just look awesome the entire year while you're using this device. The other thing that I love about it, and what stuck out to me immediately, is the gorgeous outer display that you have on this device. I know a lot of people complain, it's like, well, I don't want the cameras getting in the way, whatever else. If there is an app, like let's say Instagram, where the cameras got in the way, it was the profile, I actually changed this, but the profile would be down here and get in the way, and at one point the DMs were down here, then you could just kind of scroll up, switch the view to full screen default, and then you got the extra space. Personally, I enjoy the extra space because I love that for a Twitter scroll, Instagram scroll, Facebook scroll. You're good to go. And the little information that's blocked, it's only blocked for a short period of time and really doesn't ruin the experience. The other thing, though, is that you can talk to me all you want about good lock on the Samsung outer display, on the Flip 5 outer display. I love the fact that this device is integrated and the apps are meant to work on the outer display right out of the box. I don't have to install anything. I don't have to add anything. I don't have to do anything. They just plain work, and it's a really good experience on this larger outer display. So no issues with that. Don't talk to me about the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. You want to say it's not worth it. You want to say it's too old at this point. Nonsense. You're going to get plenty of performance, everything that you're going to want out of it, plus the battery life as well. It's held up. I got a little nervous because I got the new update on this a few days ago, and I immediately noticed some mobile network drain. I was immediately having flashbacks of the Pixel devices with those mobile network drains where the battery life was just melting away in front of my face. But I did a quick little restart on the device and it went away. And you can see there was a chart that was my battery mobile was going down, and then when I restarted, it kind of went across the board there, and it was kind of flattened out, so I didn't have that mobile network drain anymore. You can see a gorgeous internal display, fast refresh rate, 144 hertz, fast charging. Not quite the turbo power that some of the other ones, it has turbo power. It's not quite the fastest charging that the device has, but it's a little faster, so you get that as well. Lots of features on it. Really just 256 gigs of storage, 8 gigs of RAM, everything that you're going to want. And I think personally, if there is a form factor with the foldables that's going to win, I think it's pretty obvious at this point why you're seeing more flip devices out in the wild. And it's because it gives you something. It's not just for people who need a larger form factor. That's going to be a specific customer that's always going to go for a larger fold. This device appeals to anybody who has a slab phone in their pocket, because you could get the added benefit of having a compact device that takes up less space, but when you need all that extra space, when you need to play a game or you want to take a video or whatever it is, you can flip it open and it's the same exact experience you've always had. Not a single deviation. You have the regular aspect ratios you're used to, all the apps that you love play nice with it. It's never going to be a change for you when you pick up this device. Whereas the folds, you've got aspect ratio things, you got multitasking you got to deal with, all stuff that not everybody needs, but everybody who has a slab phone in their pocket can pick this up and appreciate the benefit of it folding down into that compact little fit in your palm form factor, and then get all the rest of it. I know that a lot of people are concerned about updates with Motorola. I get it. Whatever clicked in their mind seems to have worked. I know that some of the older devices still, it seems like this generation of device that came out, the Think Phone, the RAZRs, those are the devices that are getting the updates, and they're still lagging behind on some of their older catalog of devices, which is annoying. Should they have done it? No. Should they update them? Yes. If they promised updates, they should deliver them. However, the new devices that you're buying today with Motorola, they've been getting the bi-monthly updates. No issues whatsoever. So whether they keep with that, I don't know. I can only tell you what they're doing right now. And right now, they're updating the devices. And it's in a way that I can live with. It's in a way I'm comfortable with. And I like to see it. Because if you take away that kind of doubt in your mind about the Motorola updates, then my UX is actually really good. You get the Moto gestures. You get a relatively stock Android experience that if you're somebody who's just allergic to Pixel devices, but you want kind of a stock experience, this gives you that. Really nice. Then plus the Moto gestures on top. But this is a Pixel-esque stock Android experience with the added benefits of stuff like the gestures. We could, chop for the flashlight and twist your wrist for the camera and all the rest of it. That gives you that experience, but it doesn't marry you to a Google device. And it's something with a little bit more style and flair than you typically get on the Google side. Cameras aren't that bad either. They're not, obviously, the top three. They're not going to challenge Apple or Samsung or Google or anybody like that. But they've gotten better. They're saturated. They're punchier than they used to be. They're not as dull and drab. It doesn't look like you're looking at a really just dull image that came out of a potato. It's gotten a lot better on the Moto side as far as photography is concerned. And the rest of it, the build, the hinge, the display is gorgeous. Absolutely saturated, deep colors, bright enough. It's just a gorgeous display to look at from any angle. And the hinge has held up well. At first I was a little worried because the tolerances didn't quite feel as tight as the Samsung device, but there's something to that. Not every little speck of dust that gets in there can throw off the works. There's a reason why certain arms manufacturers, there's a Russian device that was made that was popular during World War II. I don't want to get to talk about weapons, but there was a popular one that had very loose tolerances because it could be used in the dirt. It could be used underwater. It could be used. There's a reason for that because the looser the tolerance while still keeping together means more can kind of go wrong without stopping the operation of the device. And whether that was Moto's intention, I don't know. But the hinge itself has been pretty darn good, and I've really loved it. And the overall feel has been solid, and it's held up, and it's just a gorgeous looking phone. So if you just want something nice in your pocket, if you've wanted a flippable, but you want something with a little stock, I love the Flip 5 devices. Don't get me wrong. The Flip 5s and the Flips or whatever, especially since I got the better outer display now, I like those devices. They're solid. They're great. For a lot of people, they'd be a good choice. However, they're lacking a little something. They're lacking a little pizzazz. They're lacking there's no Riz involved with those. You're not going to pick up any dates with your Flip 5. It's going to be like, that's your grandma's phone. This one, it's got a little something to it. Got a little something. So if you're a little different, if you want something unique in your pocket, then you could go ahead and pick up a Viva Magenta RAZR Plus and enjoy the top of the line performance, great displays, excellent software, and so far updated software at a phenomenal price. $699 for all that package that you get. Take advantage. Whether it's a late holiday present for yourself, go ahead and pick one of those up. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve Delicious day.